morning, everyone. Thank you very much for that beautiful rendition, Mr. Dean Fraser. Thank you very much for joining us on Untangle, the Bridge 99 FM. Thank you very much, Richie. You have yourself a wonderful day. Or do you have yourself a wonderful day also? And of course, we say thank you very much to all our listeners from all the different areas that you join us on. We thank you very much for joining us on them all. And we want to say a very special morning to Team Untangle. And we have our interview coming up in a few. So perhaps now. Okay, wonderful. So let us do that interview right now. Good afternoon,
Good
Crystal.
afternoon.
Okay, that's Crystal-Gayle Williams, and she's our guest. Welcome to the program Untangle on the Bridge 99 FM.
Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. Okay, so let's get right into it. Yourself and your husband lost your first child in September of 2018, right?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so first of all, condolences.
Thank you.
Before we talk about your support group for Damani, what was your...
For the money.
For Damani, yes, right? What was your experience and your husband's experience like sharing your grief as parents at that time?
It was very awkward. I mean, it still is awkward even now. It was very awkward. Persons didn't really understand. I remember some persons didn't expect us to be grieving the way we were because we only lived for 2 days. And so to them, we shouldn't have, it's like, why are we grieving?
So why didn't people, you said the baby lived for 2 days?
Yes, we did.
So why did people not expect yourself and your husband to grieve?
I don't know. I cannot tell you. Some people just don't. I guess I don't think that because he's a baby, so we wouldn't have spent a lot of time with him. So we wouldn't, why are we grieving? But they don't understand that grief doesn't have a time frame, or it doesn't matter how long you knew somebody for. Once you love them, you are going to grieve once they're no longer here.
I find this very, very difficult because on many levels, because having a baby is something that women go through. So, and men cause. So I just don't understand how them don't understand, and that's one. And two, you met the baby from the baby was in your belly.
Yeah.
So you spent 9 months perhaps, or at most, 9 months loving that baby. It's not just when he was born.
Yes, exactly. I guess some people, not everybody can sympathize, understand things even though they have never been through it before. It takes getting out of your comfort zone, and grief is seen as something negative, and people don't like to face negative emotions. It's not negative. Grief is not negative, but to them it's negative, so they don't want to face it.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yes, I hear you, and I understand exactly what you're saying. Sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable for people, but then as a society, we have to watch that, because it means that as a society, we don't have as much empathy as we should.
No, we don't. We take a lot of things for joke. Because I remember there are mothers in the support group who have shared comments that persons have said to them. Some even being called a walking cemetery, and stuff like that. It's so insensitive. We take everything for joke. We take bad things. They said they take bad things, make joke, but some things they don't really look at it and see how insensitive it is to be receiving something like that.
I'm hearing you, and it is just so sad. When I read the bio, the information, the background information that I got, I thought to myself, really? Can people really be that cold?
Yeah.
But yes, it seems as though we are, and that's something very, very serious, because that also translates into many other areas of our lives.
It does.
Wow. Okay, so as a parent who has lost a child, you know the kind of emotional support that parents yearn for.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit more now about For Damani.
So for the money, it's an initiative that started about a month after our son died to break the silence and stigma around pregnancy and infant loss in Jamaica. And from that stemmed our support group, which has been, amazing for especially the mothers. The daddies don't really want to talk and communicate and open up. So that's been a challenging, but we are supporting the mothers, and it's been a great experience. One thing that we've also done is petition for the Governor General to recognize Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month in Jamaica. So since October 2019, that has been happening.
Okay, you keep saying we. How active is your husband?
He's very supportive. He's on the sidelines if he needs to do interviews or speak to any parents. He's always there. So yeah, he's there. He's supportive.
You know, I asked this question because you mentioned that a lot of the men are not necessarily on board.
Hmm.
Does he find a way, or has he found a way to help, particularly with the grieving fathers?
Well, other than what we have done is that if any dads want someone to speak to, which I've always mentioned to the mothers who enter our support group, that my husband is there and other dads are there also who would be willing to give them some support if they need it. He did create a WhatsApp group, however, nobody really wanted to join. I think it's like two persons joined and they really spoke when he posted and stuff. So it kind of it's there, if anybody wants support, but it's mostly direct support that he would offer. He did want to do something, like, meet up, like have some drinks and talk, but COVID has kind of derailed that.
Hmm. You know, we're talking about For Damani, but so many other issues are coming out, and one of the issues that is coming out is the fact that as a people, we don't know
Mhm.
how to grieve, or we have
Mhm.
difficulty grieving. I found that too.
Yeah.
That has been
Yeah.
my experience too. So for you to just come out with it, I'm so happy you did, because I found that it's an awkward situation sometimes
Mhm.
when people dealing with your grief. And just like you said, sometimes when people don't know what to do, them laugh. And I'm like, yeah, really? But and another thing that is coming out is that particularly men have a problem grieving.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing. And when I say that's not a good thing, I mean it's not a good thing for them.
Mm-mm.
Because at some point you have to grieve
Yeah.
and then perhaps hopefully move on. But you don't really move on until you've grieved.
No.
Wow.
Well, I feel like with grieving, there is not so much moving on as so much moving forward, because once someone dies that you love, the greater the love is, the more intense the grief will be. So, like when their birthday comes around or the day that they died, you'll always remember and you'll always love them. So that grief is still there. It might not be as intense as it was 10 years ago, but you still grieve as long as you live, because you still will always love that person.
That's true, and that's true for everyone, not just mothers. I mean,
Mhm.
I fathers, grandparents, uncles,
Exactly.
friends, aunts. Come
Mhm.
on, they all love these people, and so we grieve. Anyway, so let's move on. Having formed this support group, though, you said that you didn't get a lot of support from the men, but you've got a lot of support from the women.
Mhm.
Tell us about finding out the need for for supporting grieving parents now that you've formed that group.
But I realized that I had access to mothers who have gone through the same thing, because my doula was able to connect me to mothers who she dealt with. that experienced of infant loss. So I was able to speak with them and connect with them and get, advice and, just any help that I needed. And I realized how many persons out there actually, was going through this in Jamaica and didn't have that support. And I realized that there existed baby loss communities all over the world. And when I looked, I didn't see any in Jamaica or the Caribbean. And I felt kind of sad because I'm like, there's so many people who have gone through this silently with no help. And so I decided that I wanted to change that.
Yeah. It is wonderful that you've created a forum, a formal forum, where you know that whoever is coming in on this has grief.
Yeah.
Because my personal experience has taught me that most people, or let me not say most, but a lot of people don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to relate to people who
That's
have
true.
grief. And that is so sad. And that there are so many people out there who are grieving parents. I mean, just
Mm-hmm.
look at the crime rate. Just look at that
Yeah.
alone. And look at the age group of the people who are losing their lives. A lot of them are young people. That
Mm-hmm.
alone should tell us that there are a lot of grieving parents out there.
Yes, there are a lot. A lot of
Wow.
persons don't really talk about it because, I mean, there are even persons who have said that, they felt alone because they didn't know anybody that went through it. And when they went through it, all of a sudden, persons who they never even imagined had a baby that died came forward and told them about their own experience. So a lot of persons are suffering, in silence because they know this type of grief is, they find this type of grief is personal. And a lot of persons also don't share when they lose babies because there's a lot of blame flung around about whose fault it was why the baby died.
That is so true. I mean, we just had a conversation about this perhaps 2 weeks ago with some of my sisters, and it's the very same thing we were talking about. And then the name calling and the
Yeah.
accusations, that's part of the culture and it's part of. Do you find that it's elsewhere, or did you, because you're online, so you're meeting
Hmm.
with a lot of other people from outside this
Yeah.
space? Do you find that it happens less outside the space?
No, it happens all over. I think that we as humans, we are infallible. The thing is that when something bad happens, which want to place the blame at someone.
Yeah.
So the first thing when, of course, the baby dies, they assume because the mother is carrying the baby that she did something wrong,
Yes.
and they pass their remarks saying about next time, make sure you do X, Y, Z, or, what happened. Some persons ask what happened, because they want to see, if maybe you did something wrong. And so persons keep it to themselves because they don't want to be subjected to all the criticisms that will follow.
Absolutely. Through the grace of the Almighty, you have other children, though, since that first experience.
Well, just one.
Or just one.
Yes,
That's good. That's one that you didn't have before. So how is that baby?
she's doing good. She was born in August of this year.
Oh,
So, yeah,
little
so she's
baby.
young. She's just 3 months.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that must have been quite an experience. What was that like? Mm.
it it was it was an experience. I actually kept it secret from many persons.
I can imagine why.
Yes. So it was really nerve wracking. I was really struggling with anxiety. I
Mm.
probably called my doctor a million times a day. She started calling me her bestie but she understood. She reassured me, but there were times when I really felt like I was going crazy, especially with COVID and not being able to have my husband with me for checkups and so forth. It was kind of hard, it's because in a room and all the things that can go wrong, and every doctor's visit you're like, oh my God, I hope they don't find something bad to say.
Oh goodness. A lot of people don't like to talk about these things. And we've
They
just
don't.
outlined the many reasons why people just don't talk about these things.
But we
Because,
do. We need to just talk about the hard stuff.
true, you're right. You're so right. A lot of people don't talk about the difficult things. We don't have those difficult conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So let me just, really respect you for coming out and even explaining why people don't talk and have these difficult conversations because of how people respond. So you've launched your bereaved parent support group and you meet. I know you meet online. Do you have physical meetings too?
We have only had one. That was in 2019. We were planning to have another, but as I said, COVID kind of changed plans. Persons don't really want to meet in, certain settings because of COVID. But I assume we will probably will have something next year since things are kind of looking better. Persons are getting vaccinated. So.
Okay. Well, I wish you all the best. Continue to take
Thank
care
you.
of your family and continue to speak out because it's not everybody can do that. So for those of us who can't or those of us who just can't bother,
Mm-hmm.
thank you very much for being our voice.
It's my pleasure. I would love for some more voices to join me, though.
Okay, yes, I hear you and I get you and it really makes sense. There are some
Yeah.
support groups that people would not even think about, but you
Mm-hmm.
have to go through it to know how needed they are. And
That's true.
this is definitely one.
Thank you.
So thank you very much for sharing your journey with us. And of course,
Thank you so much for having me.
you're most welcome. And I'm sure after we get over this COVID hump, whatever happens after that with your support group, you will let us know and we will certainly share
Definitely.
it. All right?
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
send your love to your husband and your new baby.
Will do.
Okay, wonderful. So that's a conversation that we're having with Mrs. Crystal-Gayle Williams, and she's actually the first person to establish a baby loss community here in Jamaica. And there's some interesting information that I thought I would share with you, and that is, let me go over to where Try give me some information. You hold on there. Hold on, make a find Try WhatsApp thing. No, not Try. Vaughn's WhatsApp thing. So, October 2019, the Governor General of Jamaica proclaimed October as Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month in Jamaica, and October 15 as Pregnant and Infant Loss Remembrance Day. So there's more awareness coming, and it's a wonderful thing. So I'm just hoping that we can get more support, and conversations like this will make others, braver to come out and actually discuss it.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Beauregard. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mama Kelly. How are you?
I am very well, thanks. Good
Nice
to hear
to hear
from
your voice.
Yes, good to hear from you
Always.
also.
Always.
Boy,
How was your weekend?
very good. Busy, but good. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, man. Very nice.
Sounds productive.
Yes, it actually was productive. Got a little rest, but it was productive.
Nice.
So, when
Nice.
that happens, you kind of feel like something go on. Yeah. So, the Reggae Grammy is out. The nominees are out. You saw them?
Yes, I did.
Um, I no.
What's wrong, Mama? Tell me. Tell me
No,
what's wrong.
nothing. Don't drive. don't worry, God. You're not driving me out in the afternoon. You trust me when me tell you're not driving me out. But
Oh, man.
I'm looking at it, and what I really need to do before I even say anything is to really listen to the albums that have been nominated, because I'm seeing the artists, but I don't know all of the albums, right?
Mm-hmm.
But from what I see, yeah, something though, Beauregard, in all seriousness, no, you're not driving me out, not doing it. But what really needs to happen more than anything else, this is really what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
The industry needs to understand how Grammy CDs are selected.
Right.
Because a lot of people in the industry will just look at this and say, them me no sound better more Ray, Ray, and they no select for me. I no dream it, No, you have to send it in. You have to submit the
Yes.
album that you want them to nominate.
Yes.
And a lot of reggae artists still not catching on to that at all. So sometimes it is left to those who have submitted their
Right.
albums, and
Right.
you know that's what's up.
Or those who put out the album in time.
Oh, that too.
For Grammy selection, yes.
That too, because there's a
Yes.
cutoff point and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how you feel? Make a draw you out.
No, well, I'm just here watching what's going on and see who's actually going to win this year. I mean, the category definitely looks different this year in terms of selection, you know. But we're going to. Someone has to have been chosen, and those were the selections. So, you know, we're going to see what happens.
I like that smirk. You see, that's why me like to see your face. That's why me like to look on your face. So that little smirk tell me everything. You know, I can't smirk good like you, you know, Beauregard.
Oh man.
But if I could have do it like you, I'd do it same way too.
I mean, normally we're used to, you know, the reggae albums, and you know,
Yeah.
being selected. That's why I said it looks a little different this year.
But Coffee changed it up. Remember, from that year, it kind of changed up. And again, you see, that is the point again. Sometimes it's the power behind the album, those who are, you know, but as you say, let us look and see who wins.
Yes.
Because that is really more telling than anything else. Who
True.
wins, you know?
True indeed.
And what a lot of cascas over the over the weekend. Lord of mercy. No, I mean,
Specifically speaking.
no, you're right. No, you're right, Mrs. So, because there's always mix up.
Wow.
But Lord of mercy, with one of the Grammy nominees, your boy, Mrs. Spice, you know, a lot of people don't seem to realize something, though, you know. You see, when, oh, nice, thank you very much. You see, when somebody embroiled in the kind of mix-up that my friend them call it the alphabet people and Spice and the rest of them who have a lot of things to say. When that happens, you know, for some people, you know, I just free promotion, you know.
Yes, it is.
Worse if they have an album will come out soon. So you see, like how my girl get nominated in a Grammy, they know. Wonderful promotion this for my girl. You understand me, is it you?
Very true. Very
Yes.
true.
And she's a kind of person who understands the business enough to know that.
True.
She does.
Yes.
She knows that.
Well, you know, a lot of people see what's going on, and some people don't see what's going on. Well, just to clarify what Mama Kelly is speaking about for the audience here in the diaspora, Spice was asked to perform at the Alphabet parade in February of next year, and a lot of people have taken to social media and saying, you know, that's not our culture, and you know, we need to stick to what we do as reggae music and dancehall. And you know, people are saying that, you know, the industry of reggae music and dancehall has been infiltrated, and it's being ripped apart right now with what we see going on, because our culture stands for certain things. These are the opinions of a lot of people out there. So just to clarify what we are talking about.
Right. And perhaps it's a wonderful opportunity, Beauregard, for us to go and re-examine what it is that we have actually stood for. Because, you know, where is this moral high ground? I mean, where is it? In dancehall? So for those who want it to be that way, okay, because it's not, but for those who want it to be that way, perhaps we need to re-examine the genre. That at some point when we say that there is some kind of moral ground, we're actually saying something that makes sense. Because right now it don't make no sense. Because as it is here now, it's...
And you know, some of the people that came out and was actually speaking out about it is Footer Hype, and even Sizzla Kalonji had something to say about it, where he took to social media as well.
Right.
And the whole uproar and mix-up now is that Spice has actually answered Footer Hype, but she hasn't said anything to Sizzla. So some people are saying, oh, you have strength for Footer, but you not say nothing to Sizzla. You know? And, you know, some people even have said she choose her buckle them wise, because we have seen enough times where she choose not to answer some people in order to mix up them, and sometimes where she choose to follow it up. So,
Well,
you know, they must say she choose her buckle them wisely.
and she's wise, she's a smart girl. But you know, no, I mean, let me tell you something, you see. It don't suit her. If you take said Mom Sizzla, let me tell you, think me wrong, my girl. It don't suit her. You understand me? Because, you know, she'd have just get butt up. But at the end, no. But at the end of the day, for somebody who is in the spotlight here now. All is fair in love and war.
I hear that.
Yeah.
Well, here in the United States, Mama Kelly, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving week. We're into Thanksgiving week now. A lot of people are expecting to do a lot of traveling. They haven't seen family members for how long? Almost 2 years. And some people are trying to get back to some of that they were doing before the pandemic actually hit. Now, one of the main concerns is the gas prices. A lot of people who are getting ready to travel and hit the roads. The gas prices have actually doubled since last year to what the gas price was. And in an effort to reduce those soaring gas prices at the pumps, the White House is reporting that President Biden is strongly thinking about releasing some 50 million barrels of oil from the strategic reserve that the U.S. has. So in times of war and things of that nature, they'll go into that reserve of oil that they have. So now is a time more than anywhere. President Biden is saying that the country actually needs it because things are getting out of hand now. So he's going to go into that reserve. Try to bring down the gas prices.
Yeah, I hear you.
Nice.
There was something that it slipped me now that about President Biden, what him did say about something, but all I remember is how strongly I disagreed, but that's that. One of the other things that we are news that's coming out of Jamaica is we lost Dr. Pee Wee. I haven't seen you or heard over the weekend, but I know that you would know Pee Wee, and that's the Rastafarian doctor, Dr. Carlton Fraser.
Yes.
And he actually passed of COVID-related issues, so it's real. COVID is real. And, the irony is that, he has, what you call it now, a wellness cure formula that he was using, and it was working so well with others. And it was a wellness cure that was, he was using it on people who even had COVID, and it was working. But, unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to, well, it's difficult to administer it on yourself.
Right.
But we just want to hail the family and the members of the 12 tribes of Israel. He was a staunch member of the 12 tribes of Israel, and just walk good, Dr. Pee Wee.
True indeed. Condolences to the family. And in the same breath, sister, we mentioned last week about the two brothers being exonerated for the murder of Malcolm X. And, this week, sadly, we have to report the death of one of his daughters, his youngest daughter, who was a twin. She was found dead in her Midwood, Brooklyn apartment yesterday by her daughter.
Oh, my goodness.
This is one of those cases, again, where I call it a bull incident.
Oh, my goodness. That's so sad.
Yes.
And we see that the story that you've always been talking about with this young man and the gun, and it was found free of all charges. He was found not guilty of all charges. But something, Beauregard, I think that from where you are, you can help me to understand it better. But it seems to me more like a conversation about bearing arms.
It is, and it was also a message, I believe, that was sent to the country, to white America and to black America, but more to white America, in my opinion. The fact that, the men that were killed were actually Caucasian, they were white, and they were at a Black Lives rally, a Black Lives Matter rally or protest, and they lost their lives there. I think that letting off this young man who was charged with these murders basically sends a message that, we're not going to convict one of our own because you were over there defending what we do not stand for.
I hear you. I didn't think of it that way, honestly, but it's very interesting that you say that. Because, the two, they're all Caucasians, as you said. And I was trying to figure out what is the message that is being sent. But there's a very interesting point there that you make. And I will think about it. Absolutely.
And this young man that was let off, Kyle Rittenhouse, he's already on TV doing interviews on nighttime TV. So it's just a slap in the face when they allow him to go on TV and do these interviews and all of these things right away. So. And
it's obvious that a big percentage of America believe in bearing arms, even them high-powered weapons. It's very clear that it's okay there.
Yes, it's part of the Constitution, so
Yeah.
it gives them the right.
True. You're right. Okay, so thank you very much for having these wonderful conversations. I'm going to, my friends and I have a way of discussing just about everything. And can I be honest with you?
Yes.
There's a part of our day that we say, Beauregard did say, me hear Beauregard say. so we're going to talk about that too.
Yes.
What Beauregard say, as it relates to what you just mentioned about the fact
The message.
that the message Beauregard. So
Indeed.
thank you so very much again. So we're there.
Yes.
All right, bless up. Always a pleasure to talk to Beauregard, and we also just want to say enough respect to the tri-state area, the entire tri-state area. You know who uno are, so bless up yourselves. And we're talking about New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. Bless up the entire Irie Jam radio family. Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, Manhattan. It's always a pleasure bringing the Bridge 99 FM to Irie Jam radio. So, man, sometimes we have to untangle with intellect, because we see a whole heap of challenges there, so. But, we really have to deal with it, because at the top of the day, Marcus Garvey say, the future is for those who kind of bright, Yeah, man, those who have up here, so. And the girl and girl thing, how long you go talk about that? Yeah, man, so sometimes we have to just untangle with intellect. And as me say, if you don't have a brain, grow one, because the future belongs to those who actually have one. It is now 1:52 in the afternoon. We want to say thank you so very much to everyone for listening. Thank you very much for those who have joined us on the frequencies of the Bridge 99 FM. Thank you very much for those who are listening on the internet. Thank you very much, world. Thanks for listening. And for those who want to be a part of our live show and watch us on the radio, www.thebridge99fm. And my producer sent me the information on the nominations for Reggae Grammy. And it's like this. Etana, Pamoja, that's a CD, right? Gramps Morgan, Positive Vibration. And I know Troy is going to be bringing that CD for me probably tomorrow, right, Troy? Sean Paul, Live and Living, right? Jesse Royal with one called Royal. Soldier, Beauty in the Silence, and Spice with an album called 10. So those are the best reggae album nominees for 2021-22. And the rest, we will see how it unfolds. And as Beauregard said, what is really very important is actually who wins the Grammy Award. Reggae Grammy particularly, but just reggae generally. Beauregard, bless up yourself.
Bless up yourself, sister.
All's well?
It's always a pleasure. I'll be here for the rest of the day doing some celebrations for those who are celebrating birthdays today. Today's the birthday of Sister Marcia Griffiths.
Right. Yes, go ahead.
Also, Mr. Cornell Campbell and Singing Melody.
Right. Can I tell you something? Beauregard have a list. It make we start count to finger them and see what happened 9 months before this date. Because I say a whole heap of people share their birthday,
Yeah, tell you.
Sharon Marley also has a birthday today.
Wow.
So bless up yourself, Sharon Marley. And for those who
Also, a friend of mine, Anthony Wayne, another artist. And to your listener, Ricardo Porteous, who called in our text.
Yes. Right, you heard, right? You heard.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, man. So bless up yourself. And some of our colleagues have birthdays today. And, we now go join the bandwagon. They were afraid to call people name because them work on one next station. We cannot bother. Because first of all, me never remember. Sometimes the head not good. So it better me just go with the program and just bless up all who for bless up. So right. GT Taylor also has a birthday today. And my dearly beloved sister Heather Cummings, I don't know which station she there, and I does not care. She also has a birthday today. So we just want to bless her up also. Yeah. So it goes so. So Thursday, Beauregard.
Yes, on Thursday. It will be Thanksgiving when we talk again.
You working?
Yes, I'll be working. Dinner time, the evening hours there, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to get dinner. Them going to serve you dinner. All those who working on
I
air.
don't know what them going to do or what they plan on doing in a sister. I'm coming in and I'm going to be speaking to you, and then I head home with the family.
Okay, that sounds good. I wonder if I could have give them a little hint, say to that nice, if you know them could have just give a little something since you have to eat. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if you work on Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm sure everybody, have them schedule worked out and how they plan on proceeding. So, everybody is going to partake in the Thanksgiving festivities.
Yeah, man,
So,
that's a wonderful thing.
And sometimes we'll have some food here at the station. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You can WhatsApp my one. As long as we eat, we don't eat. Okay, so Thursday, all right?
All right, sister, take care.
All right, you too. So, we want to we just want to say enough respect. When we look at team there, right?
Hi, this is Butcher Banton. You're tuned to Sister Elise Kelly on Bridge 99 FM.
So we want to say thank you very much to the team, the Untengle team. Bless up on yourself. So bless up the Irie Jam family. Thanks for always keeping it live on the Bridge 99 FM. Want to say give thanks to Richard Rainford, Master Control Operator, and Royal, who is actually working right here now. Bless up yourself, Cavell. Bless up yourself. Romaine, bless up yourself. Vision Mixer, we call him Romeo or the Flagman. And LaFane's mom. Happy birthday to LaFane's mom. And all these wonderful things. Nikki Z comes in looking so beautiful today. Every day, my girl. Every day. So this is how we say so long. See?